Hey, this is JC and welcome to Small Brick City, where we want to help you build a Lego city regardless of the space you have. I thought I'll do something different today. I was just in the process of starting the project of reMOCing the new 2019 townhouse and pet store, but I thought I'll do this instead and share my thoughts when it comes to official Lego sets. When I see an official Lego set and buy it, I do consider the reMOCability factor. That means, am I able to reMOC it or remake it and customize it to fit my Lego city? And that is part of the creative process which I really enjoy when it comes to Lego. So I don't mind if a set doesn't really fit my Lego city or my needs or even my preferences, but I looked at the potential of how I can change it up without too much trouble based on either the parts that I have or whether I can combine it with other sets. So I know some people prefer to buy a really complete Lego set, just follow the instructions and build it and not need to do any changes or modifications. But personally for me, I do enjoy that small challenge and the creative process of creating something even better, at least better in terms of fitting my Lego city or my own preferences. An example is this toy store that you see in front of you. This comes with the donut shop opening. That's a city square type set. And you can check out my review in the link in the card above or the description below. So the small builds or the buildings that come with that set are all open back like that. And you might even consider them just a facade of a shop. It's not even a full shop because this obviously just looks like the front cross section of a shop. As such, this to me suggests that it can be reMOCed so that it becomes more full and more impressive. Even as I look at it, this seems really bare bones. There are some design elements such as this lime green arch, the toy sign, and these balloons to act as 3D signs, but it is lacking beyond just this really superficial front. So the interior is alright. There is some detailing with these small builds of toys, but it is very bare bones, and I feel that it can become much more attractive. So the small challenge that I've given myself today is to reMOC this into a more complete building, but also to make it much more attractive so minifigs will come in to check out all the toys and buy up the shop. I'll share with you my process and design choices as we go along. I hope you're ready, so let's get started. The first thing I want to do is to expand the footprint of this building, and I'm going to double the size. That's so that I can make a more complete building. And I also want to change this into a modular style building in the sense that I want to be able to remove the roof to access the inside so there will not be an open back. So the first thing I need to do is to have more base plates to create the back. Now I don't have the exact single base plate to fit this, or I don't even have one big base plate in a square form. So what I need to do is to take multiple small base plates like this to create a larger base plate. But because these are loose plates, there's a need to join them together. You just can't put the walls of the build on, then you might have actually some separation of these base plates. So I have to pull off this entire building, and I have to take one by something long plates like that to create a perimeter or lining on the outside of all the plates. This holds the plates together but also gives a layout of this particular build. So I'll do that first and then I'll build up the rest of the walls. When I'm working with a reMOC and I remove it from the base plate, I always keep everything intact. This is easier for me to transplant it later. So here's that layer of white plate I talked about. So this holds the different base plates together, and it also allows me to build up on this to form the footprint. But it also raises all these elements up by one plate because I will be doing tiling inside. So I do want the tiling to be in line with the bottom of these elements. So let's put everything on, and I'm going to recreate the walls, and I'll use this design, the original design, as the guidelines to reconstruct the rest of the building. So I've just noticed something, and that's just due to the design of the build that I overlooked. Because there's this lime green archway, there is actually one exposed stud between this white panel or wall and the lime green archway, so that should not be an exposed stud. So I'm actually going to pull up the white plates because I want this to be tiled and not a stud. So that's a really easy fix. Later on I can just tile these areas to blend in with the front sidewalk. Let's continue with the rest of the building. So here we have a simple back. Now I decided to just go with a window frame and glass instead of bricks, just to save on bricks, because this is really just to get a nice build. And even if it's going to be butted up against a build like a modular building, that's fine. If it's going to be a standalone building, that's good as well. There's a bit of light from the outside. So what I want to do now is to create the roof the same way I did the base plate. So I need to put in plates so that it's solid. At the same time, I'm going to plate the entire top edge of this white wall to make it firm, and then I have to tile it so that it works like a modular building with jumper plates so that I can put the roof on. And there we have the completed structure with the top tiling as well as the jumper plates to receive the roof. Now onto the roof. And here we have the roof. It's held together by 1 by something plates all around, and I have a 2 by something long plate all the way across just for the support for the joints. And this will give us our modular style roof. Now just due to the size, there is a bit of overhang, but I think this is fine. I could probably put some lights as well, so I'm not too concerned about that. So now let's talk about the roof design. In the original design, it was basically just this, and I think there were the balloons which looked something like that. So that's very straightforward. I think we can do better than that. I'm going to see if I've got bricks as well in green. If I do, what I do want to do is to raise this arch up as well to keep to that original design. So I don't need the lime green in 1 by 1 bricks, but I think that's fine. It's still really secure, and we get back that original design with the archway being taller than the roof. So getting back to the roof design, I'm thinking of something radical because I want to make this interesting. I want to make this something so attractive that minifigs will come in to buy up the shop. So this is what I have in mind. As mentioned, when I look at an official set, I think about reMOCability, and I think if I can combine sets. And the set that was on promo most recently is this Rocket Ride set. It is really nice, designed by Mark Smiley, who's an AFOL, and he won a contest, so they produced it as part of a Lego Ideas project, but it became a free promo gift with every $100 spent. So I think this is a really cute build, very adorable, but I think it fits really well if it becomes a 3D sign. So just imagine that. Imagine if this is on top over here, or without this guy here. So it's not a ride, but it is actually a 3D sign, something just so exciting. So this toy sign will go for now, this will go for now, and this will take center stage. I will also remove the stairs here. We don't need those, and we can tile up the side over here. I'll leave this red box here. I think it's fine. Let's say we turn it. Incidentally, if you want to see my modifications for the crankshaft and my review for this set, do check out the link in the card above or the description below as well. So let's say we do something like that. Now that's pretty cool, I think. Very interesting. It is centered. So this becomes my 3D sign. So the question is, should I put it in front or should I put it at the back of it? I think we'll give 1 stud allowance, and we'll press it on. So let me just do that. I'm just gonna press this on so that it's on firm. So this is something I like to do. I like to combine sets that you wouldn't necessarily think of to create something new, and I think this adds to the toy shop, and this gives reason, this build reason, because it's supposed to be a ride, but actually if you look at the dimensions, they aren't really minifig scale, because these are supposed to be rides in front of a mall or in front of a shop. It's really too big. It's almost as big as the shop, and we're just going to get this in. Okay, so we've got that firmly in, and now this can go on like that. I would tilt it back a bit. But remember, we have the balloons. We probably can put a balloon on either side now. Let's see how that looks like. So we put a balloon here, and we put a balloon here. Now, maybe I should shift this so it's not in the center, and I can put the balloons back. Okay, I think this will work. Maybe the rocket ride won't be at such a slant. So that will work, but I do want that toy store sign as well. So what I thought is we can have it. Now obviously you can't put it anywhere, it's going to block the rocket, or we put it behind, it's going to be blocked. So we need to raise it up so it's somewhere here like that, maybe, or like that. It can be in the background. I think that's fine. And to do that, we're going to use one of these truss supports. Now we can just put this on like that, of course, but it's not that stable because there are only two studs and it's not a very good connection. So I'm going to take a long plate like that in yellow and put this on. This becomes much more stable, and this allows me to put it, say, somewhere here, and we get a nice toy sign. So let's see how I can shift this, because I do like the rocket. You see, that looks good. That angle looks good, but we do not want the balloons to block the rocket. So maybe I can put this in front, and this can go at the back, and maybe this can go back one more. And you know, you can even imagine this is a motorized sign that moves just like that. I think that's pretty cool. Very inviting. Looks really exciting for a kid. So let's work with this first. I think I might do some tiling, at least for the edges, not the whole complete roof. And then I'll figure out how this is going to be brought up as well with the tiling. And then we'll work with the interior. And this is what we have in terms of just finishing the edges, so it looks more neat. I put a 2x2 plate here to raise up this balloon pillar so that it is in line with the tiles as well. And I think this looks pretty decent. Now let's take off the roof and work on the interior. The roof is off, but now looking at this, we don't really need this bar here. It's going to be in the way, and this is such a small building, we don't need the support. So let's just take this out first. So that's much better. Let's work on the inside. I am going to put back the original builds just because I want to keep the original intact. And then I will add in some of my own displays and show you what I've come up with. Something pretty special. I just realized I did something wrong. These red frames are supposed to be inset with the green bricks. So it's not supposed to be like that. I actually have to adjust this to make it correct. With the front down, I've taken the opportunity to detail the inside. This is about it. I will add some tiling to the floor, but I do have one more centerpiece toy that I want to add in, and this is the flagship toy of this particular toy shop. Now remember, we have the rocket ride, which is on the roof, and this is what I felt the flagship toy should be based after, and I designed this. So specifically, it's just this part over here, and that's a micro build of the rocket ride. I think that's pretty close. It is cute, and I will teach you how to build this at the end of this video. But for now, it will be my centerpiece. It will be placed right here so that as customers come in, they can see this rocket ship. Okay, that doesn't seem to be much space over here because of the jack in the box. So maybe I'll just shift this around and see what space I can do, or maybe I'll put the jack in the box over here. So let's figure this out. So I've changed things up just to give it a bit more breathing space. So it's still a little cluttered, but I think it's really cozy. Still enough space for minifigs to go around to see all the different displays. So I cut this brick over here from 5 to 4 studs, moved that remaining 1x2 stud over here to house this little present sort of toy. So now that I've got the interior figured out, I'm going to put tiling. I'm going to use light gray and red just to keep it a bit colorful. And then I'll put some jumper plates as well so that we can put some minifigs. And after I do that, we can close everything up. And here we have all the tiling done. And basically needed a variety of different tiles just to keep that checkered pattern going, working all around the various displays. But that looks good, so let's fit everything back together. So here we have everything put back together. What I'm going to do is to tile the outside, put these stands back, and then put in some minifigs, and I think we can have a look at the overall MOC. And here we have the completed toy store. I've made some adjustments. I've added in this towel with the sticker. Both these elements came from the extra sticker pack from 2019, and it fits in very well, as though the Lego designers planned for it. The reason I put this towel in is because I raised this archway up by 1 brick, and it felt very plain. That's why I took out 2 of the bricks and placed modified bricks, and I put this towel here, the sticker, and I think it fits so well. The colors work, and I just like that it protrudes out the top just a bit, gives it a bit more visual texture, and the whole front is now even more layered. On the back, I added in an ATM. So this ATM is not something I built or had to buy. This came with the City Coffee set from the same donut shop opening set. So I took the ATM from there and decided to place it here just to fill in the space. Now, this is a pretty nice build. It's 2 studs wide, but there are plates on either side. So to accommodate that, I actually used 2 jumper plates. So what it's done is offset it by half a stud, and that's so that the ATM is now in line. This is in the event I want to place this against other buildings like a modular building, it doesn't stick up. If I were to put a regular plate, it would stick out by 1 plate. So this works out very well. I've also got a security camera which is built into the top of the plate of the main building. And overall, that's the external changes I've made. Let's have a look at the top and inside. Here's a top view of the toy shop just to let you see how the different elements are laid out on the roof. And just like a modular building, this can be removed just like that. I did change one of the jumper plates out and just put a single stud because I was always coming out with the roof. And when you have such a small building, you really do not need 2 of these 1x4 jumper plates. And here's a closer look to see how that camera is fitted in. There's basically a modified plate with a vertical clip, and that's a camera, regular camera piece that is placed there, angled directly towards the ATM, or if someone were to be at the ATM, they'll be captured by that camera. And this is all the detail on the inside. You can see the shopkeeper in pink over there, and we have a child minifig looking at that space rocket ride display, and all these other elements you've seen early on, and that's how it looks like. Here are the pieces you need for the micro space rocket ride. So let's start off with the rocket itself. You need this modified red brick with studs on the front and the back. You need 2 1x1 plates. Put that below like that. And then you can take the blue cone. Now the original design comes with a dark blue cone. I didn't have that. So this trans blue actually works quite well, especially for a micro build in my opinion. You need 2 studs, 1 metallic, silver or gray, and 1 with red to represent the rocket truss. And then you need this bracket part. So this is a 1x2 bracket, and you place 2 studs, 1 green and 1 blue, both transparent colors, over here, and take a white cheese wedge piece and place it here, and there you have the rocket ship. And then you can take this peg, this is a T peg, and you place that in like that. So let's build the base. You need 2 regular 1x1 yellow bricks, and you need this headlight brick. So it has to be a headlight brick because you need that hole at the back. So this is how you put it together. You're going to use a snot technique, and you need a 1x3 black plate with a star. And the snot technique involves you putting the two 1x1 bricks and the headlight brick in a row just like that. See, notice the back of the headlight brick there. You take a 1x3 yellow plate, hold everything together, and then you take this stud, it's a transparent stud, and you put it underneath. This is purely so that you can put it on some kind of a display. Take the rocket ride with the peg and put it into the headlight brick, and there you have the rocket ride. Now if you do want to put this on something, for example, I have a 2x2 brick with a jumper plate, that allows me to put the transparent stud on, and now I have a display for the rocket ride. I hope you enjoyed this look at how I created this particular MOC by rebuilding part of the original set and combining it with another set. And maybe this will inspire you to look at Lego sets in different ways when you buy them. Look at the reMOCability factors, or maybe get more out of your Lego sets by mocking them after you build them. It's really quite an enjoyable and challenging process, and I'm sure you enjoyed the creative experience. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know whether you liked this new toy store or do you think it's too much. Now be sure to subscribe to the channel, as my next MOC project will be the reMOC of the townhouse and pet store. You do not want to miss that, so be sure to turn on the notification bell. Thanks for watching. Check out these two videos before you go.